What did you just do, Brittany?
Well, I just was given the responsibility of closing the door. It felt like a really big responsibility.
If this is your first time here, we are Eric and Brittany Highland, and along with our 7-year-old son Caspian, we're attempting to drive around the world in our home, a 2021 Jeep Gladiator we call Dauntless. Our goal at Hourless Life is to give you a first-person point of view so that you feel like you're actually on the journey with us. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to take you around the world. In our last travel video, we shared the challenges of overlanding internationally, dealing with repairs, installing upgrades, replacing failed parts, and working through the bureaucracy of paperwork with the Peruvian government trying to get our Jeep out of lockdown. We went into Paracas and on an awesome boat ride to Las Ballestas and finished up with a trip into Paracas National Reserve. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you missed it, we'll link it here. In today's video, we leave Paracas and head to Huacachina, Peru, then down to Nazca. Leaving Nazca, we spend one night on the beach on the Pacific coast and then make our way down to Camana, Peru, as we continue our way through the southern part of the country. This video covers a lot of ground. The unbelievable oasis Huacachina is first, followed by a trip to see the world-famous Nazca Lines of Peru. And if that weren't enough, we'll also take you to see some aqueducts that were built around 500 AD. And finally, we'll head down the Pacific coast on one of the most beautiful drives we've had in Peru. We have a lot to cover, so let's pick up right where we left off. We've left Paracas and are now approaching an incredible desert oasis. We're getting off the Pan American and going towards Huacachina, which is only 4 kilometers from here, 9 minutes outside the city of Ica. What I've seen from photos, though, it looks like it's in another world. That's so crazy. We were just in that huge city.
Yeah, we're on the outskirts now.
It's so wild. How you can literally be in another world in a matter of 4 kilometers.
Yeah. This is a really touristy area that we're entering here, and it's the weekend, which we know is not the best idea, but it's kind of just the way the timing worked out for us. We know some big rigs have had a really hard time navigating these busy streets. Wow, it's like right by the dunes, this place, huh? So here comes Eric. He has to fit through all of these people. He has to go around this van, around the vendors, and into this gate to camp. It's all very exciting.
This is our camping spot at Huacachina Eco Hotel, and right behind us are the sand dunes. It's going to be hot here today, so we got permission to move forward just a little bit so we can deploy the awning. We have stayed a couple days here at the Eco Camp just outside the dunes. This is the oasis of Huacachina, and these are the sand dunes that Brittany and Caspian plan to climb tonight. Anything to say?
I am really excited to climb the dunes. We're going right now. Let's go. just finished 3 nights in Huacachina. The highlight was definitely climbing the big sand dune at sunset last night with Caspian. That was so challenging, but unbelievably awesome. We are continuing to head south and we are going to Nazca today, which is famous for the Nazca Lines.
It has been so great to meet all of these other fellow overlanders. This one here is from Chile, this one here is from France, this one here is from Portugal, and there we are from the United States, getting ready to head out. It's only about a 2.5 hour drive. I'm sure you have some stops in mind though, because we have no food.
Yeah, we have no produce because they had basically none in this town.
We're good on fuel, but I don't have any Cokes. That's a major problem.
Hola, gracias. In that alley where we always walk down, there's a little market. It was closed last night, but if it's open, I can go in there. They might have your Coke Zeros in there. It's open, yeah.
Okay, I'll stay right here. We will wait because Coke Zero.
So the market was not open, but there was a restaurant open where I did get you a Coke.
Hey.
But it was funny because they really mark up the Cokes here. They're like 2 soles more than normal. And so they wanted 5 and I only had 4.50, or I had a 50 soles bill and they were like, we'll take the 4.50. So we got a deal.
Coke Zero is like my morning coffee.
It's kind of your all-day coffee though. You're still drinking it at like 10 o'clock at night.
We should be sponsored by Coke.
That's a beautiful mural. Has Machu Picchu on the right, some beautiful indigenous people on the left.
You see a lot of these just magnificent pieces of art all over Latin America, and that is a really cool one.
I love how there's absolutely no concern for traffic flow when there's construction. People are just like, we need to do construction. We're just gonna do it right here, no worries.
And Brittany wants me to go that way.
Yeah, we can't go that way. We'll have to go a different way. Why can't we? There's a go on your right too, just so you know.
So here?
Yes.
This was an unexpected stop, but a necessary stop because Brittany and Caspian have not had breakfast, and just like I need my Coke Zero, they have to have their food. Apparently we are going to stop here, find a place to eat, get some groceries before we head to Nazca. I think sometimes people get the impression that you drive through these small dusty towns and they don't have any sort of luxuries. We just passed the Starbucks and now we're essentially in a mall and going to a major grocery store.
Yeah, we didn't go out of our way to come here. It was just the place where the grocery store was.
Sometimes I gotta come out and check on Dauntless because people are so curious. This guy that's standing in front of it was just sitting on Dauntless, so I came over here and just honked the horn with my remote, and he was really surprised when he got off real quick. He was surprised that the vehicle honked at him. So I may have gone a little crazy in the mall. We did our grocery shopping, but Caspian has been needing a sun hat. And we found a Columbia store, so we picked him up a sun hat. And then we're walking down the mall, and I saw a Crocs store. And Brittany and I have been talking about getting him Crocs forever because he has these big little Flintstone feet that are super cute. So we ended up getting him some Crocs as well. Back on the Pan American, 81 kilometers on this road to get towards Nazca. Look at all this trash just burning along the side of the road. Unbelievable. Talked about this a lot, but as I mentioned, we're doing 20 miles an hour down the Pan American, and it's because of all these trucks. It's literally a 2-lane road. You gotta pass them as you're able. It's a long slog. Considering this is the longest motorable highway in the world, I'm doing 15 miles an hour right now. Good morning, Caspian. Look at this beautiful view. What do you think of this, Caspian? So crazy. We're up here. It's all rocks and dirt. You're coming down into this beautiful valley. And at every turn, there's something new. It's one of the things when you're internationally overlanding, there's nothing in front of you but the horizon. So you really never know what's ahead. Líneas de Nazca. This is what we are coming to see in this area. Can you describe what they are, Brittany?
So the Nazca Lines are designs in the rock that are so large that you can't get any perspective to see what they are from the ground. So that's why there's flights that go over them so that you can actually see the full design and what they are. This is an observation tower where people go up and try and see them, but again, you can't, that's not high enough to get the perspective. And they're mysteries. That's the big draw, is what civilization created the Nazca Lines, how did they do it, and what do they mean?
We're coming up on where we plan to stay, which is called Nazca Lodge, but apparently there's this whole thing on iOverlander that makes it a little bit difficult to find. Our only instructions are there's a little path before the gas stations where we have to turn to the left.
There's a gas station.
Right, that path right there.
Looks like it has some dirty water.
Yeah, Nazca Lodge. I see the sign.
But Dauntless can handle a tiny bit of dirty water, can it?
Yep.
That way, that way.
Well done, team. Hola.
Hello, amigo.
Hello.
Do you speak Spanish?
¿Sí habla español?
Mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Sandro. Puede entrar por ahí.
Ahí voy. Gracias. So apparently there's an alternate entrance we've got to take. He said Mr. Enrique is going to open up the metal door.
We spent the night in Nazca last night, and today is the big event, the thing we're here to do. We're going to take an airplane and fly over the Nazca Lines. This is amazing. I've heard so much about this place, and now we're gonna see it for ourselves.
We're about to get the info on the mystery of the Nazca Lines. Super excited. My man Enrique is about to throw down and show us what's up with these lines.
We'll find over 300 drawings and more than 10,000 lines in an area that covers around 500 square kilometers. You take off, so you cross the Nazca River here. In a matter of just 2 minutes, you will be flying over the whale. Keep in mind, you have only 3-4 seconds to see the figure. So my suggestion is to enjoy with your eyes and just maybe just make many photos, and then you look later on then on your computer.
The lecture from Enrique was amazing. We learned so much, and it will add so much knowledge and richness to the plane ride that we're about to take. Our taxi driver, I think, is here. We're about to go meet him and go to the airport.
Hey, mucho gusto. Gracias. Catsby, you excited? Mm-hmm. Should be lots of fun, baby.
I bet. If I'm gonna get a window seat, I'll be able to see the Nazca Lines. Great. Hi, YouTube. We're on the shuttle going to the Nazca airport so we can see the Nazca Lines, and I'm a little scared, but I just say that before the plane. When I'm actually on the plane, I'm not scared. I like it, and especially if I'm gonna see the Nazca Lines.
These are the folks we're going to tour with. That may be our plane, or at least one of them. Caspian making friends as always with the pilot. Apparently this is a thing. We have to weigh ourselves with everything we're carrying on the plane. Moment of truth, Brittany. How you doing?
Kilograms, so I don't know where we
Hey.
Así estoy.
I'm really scared, Daddy.
Oh, you don't need to be scared at all, baby. Look how much fun this is going to be.
It looks like a plane that would tip over.
What did you just do, Brittany?
Well, I just was given the responsibility of closing the door. It felt like a really big responsibility.
Thumbs up, Caspian? Thumbs up? Tonight's our final night here at Nazca Lodge. We've had a really nice time. They have a beautiful pool, palapas. Brittany says that it's the best campground that we've stayed at in Peru so far. Brittany's cooking up dinner tonight. I've been editing video all day. I just finished the edit on our 3-month trip back to the United States. Hopefully you guys have already seen that by now. Tomorrow we're just gonna continue south along the Pan American. We're gonna find another spot. We're trying to get to a town called Arequipa, but it's about 10 hours away. So we've got a few stops between here and there.
Hasta luego, señora.
Gracias.
Cuídate.
And we're off.
Just like that.
Like a rocket.
So if everything goes well, we are camping tonight somewhere on or near the beach, about 3 hours south of our position towards Arequipa. But Brittany wants to see some aqueducts.
There are several aqueduct sites here in the Nazca area. There's at least 3 that I was able to find, but this seems to be the one that people visit the most. In this desert region, the rivers are completely unpredictable. They usually would run in summer and be completely dry in the winter time. And so the pre-Incan people needed another solution for water, and so they invented these aqueducts. It's different from the Roman-style aqueducts. The only other place in the world that archaeologists have found aqueducts like this are in Persia. However, the Persians had to dig a lot deeper for water, and here the groundwater was closer to the surface, so they didn't have to dig so deep.
What do you see, Caspian?
An aqueduct. I'm right next to it. I really like it. If you come down those stairs, you can see.
Water is so crystal clear. It's amazing.
Look at this. And this is still in use today by the people of the Pueblo. This water that flows out and goes all the way into their town. This is pretty amazing and a worthwhile stop. You can see all of these spiral ruins that lead all the way down to the water. The water in this one's pretty still, but we've seen some of them that are moving well underground that, like I said, are still feeding the town. Caspian said he wants to go down this huge spiral one. I told him stay away from the edges. You're wearing Crocs. You are not wearing hiking shoes. Last thing I need you to do is to fall into one of these things. He's a brave little boy though. So it turns out that Dauntless is too big to turn around, so she's letting me drive up here so that I can turn around. So now we get the view of the aqueducts from Dauntless.
It's estimated that these aqueducts were created around 500 AD. It's just an estimate. They are simple, but they're also sophisticated, and they required a lot of knowledge of engineering and hydraulics. And it's really interesting how this civilization could exist in a landscape like this and grow crops to sustain themselves. And of course, coming from the United States, we've become pretty good at living in complete deserts, but this was a long time ago, and it's really incredible how they were able to survive here. It's so hot and it's so dry, and I cannot imagine living here without modern conveniences, and yet the Nazca civilization did it for hundreds of years. About the Nazca aqueducts, UNESCO says, this system was built in the middle of one of the driest and most arid desert territories of the world, where there is no surface water during most of the year. The water obtained by means of ingenious aqueducts serves not only for human consumption, but also to irrigate the crop fields, which were fertile oases created in the middle of the immense desert. The Nazca aqueducts were made based on advanced knowledge of geology and hydrology, and since its construction almost 2,000 years ago, it's been used permanently by the society that succeeded its builders and is still in operation until today.
We have just been driving through this vast, arid, dusty, sandy expanse, and there has been nothing, not a gas station, not a store, nothing for miles and miles and miles. It is desolate where we are right now. We've made a turn. We're still in the desert, but now we're headed straight towards the Pacific Ocean. You can see the breakers on the beach. We'll be driving along the coast for a little bit.
Within only about half an hour, the landscape has totally changed. We're on the other side of some mountains. Instead of sand, it's rock, and there's even starting to be some scrub brush and some trees. And I just cannot believe how much the ecosystem has changed in such a short distance.
We finally made it to our turn. Hotel Puerto Inca is where we plan to stop for the night, which is down this washboard road. I was just telling Brittany, I always think of all our friends that have been down this road, because on iOverlander we can see people who have left reviews, and many of them are people who we've run across during our trip. And just knowing that they drove this same road is just kind of cool.
Yeah, it makes you feel closer to people for sure.
That is where we are headed. It's been a while since we've camped in a place like this, huh?
Yeah, beach camping.
I'm not kidding when you say a place on the water. Now that looks cool.
That was the most awkward reception ever. We are going to spend one night here, and then we are going to continue on our way. It is pretty though. There's Dauntless. We're just getting set up. First order of business was to put out the shade. We're not fully set up yet. But it was really awkward because the people here at Puerto Inca, they have a pool over there, and they wanted to charge us 30 sol a person to camp, which is fine. And they said, and if you want a shower, it's going to be 40 sol. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I said, well, but we can use a pool, right? Because they have a pool over there. And they're like, no, you can't use the pool. But at 60 sol, how much is 60 sol, Brittany? It's 60 sol, which is 15 bucks. You can't really beat this view. Just putting this out there for a Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. This is not a bad life. Caspian's got his Legos going. Got this view. So many other things that I could be doing on a Friday at 2 o'clock.
This place ended up being absolutely beautiful, and I had a really cool interaction this morning too. There was a couple on the beach bringing in seaweed, and I asked them what it was for, and they said soap and facial cream. So that was really interesting. We're on our way to Camana.
Camana, Campo El Bolo.
Yes, and it is a long drive today for us. It's what, 5 hours?
At least, yeah.
Not including stops. But we're getting an early start and looking forward to the different scenery that we're going to see today.
Short climb up back to the Pan American.
To find you another Coke, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe some fruit for us. We haven't had fruit in a couple days. Turns out it's hard to find fruit in a desert.
What concept. We've made it back to the Pan American. Here we go. Wonder what we'll see today. We have just started on this drive, and wow. What a beautiful backdrop with these rocks and coming down onto the Pacific Ocean like this. It's really spectacular. Every corner we're like, wow. My goodness. Going through another desolate area as we continue south on the Pan Am. Take a look at this terrain. The ocean is off to our right, the mountains are off to our left, and we're in the middle of this desert valley. Brittany has been mentioning that this kind of reminds her of Big Sur.
It's like the Big Sur of Peru.
Yeah.
Just a lot drier with fewer trees and more trash. But seriously, the water breaking up on the rocks is so beautiful. The hilarious thing is that I don't think you're allowed to take rigs over a certain length on Big Sur. And meanwhile, all of the big trucks and buses come on this road.
We are only about 14 minutes away from where we plan to camp. And we've got a money situation going on. Brittany, tell them.
We just cannot keep enough cash on hand lately. We have a separate account, a Charles Schwab account that we got because there's no international ATM fees. We can go to any ATM and get all of our fees refunded at the end of the month, which is awesome. But since it isn't our main bank account, we have to move money in there, and it takes like 4 business days and blah, blah, blah. It's just like this weird juggling situation, and we never seem to have enough cash. But I think we'll be able to get more tomorrow morning.
And we have no idea how much camping tonight is going to cost, or if it's going to cost anything. On iOverlander, it says that he's hosted people for free. We don't expect to stay for free, but we really don't have that much left on us. It just turned green as we made the turn towards Alex's place, and Caspian said, this is what I'm into, the greenery.
Like each of those single blades of grass, look at how pretty they are.
It's a big change after being in the desert, huh, baby?
Uh-huh. And it's a big happy change.
What does that sign say? El Bolo.
El Bolo. So this way.
Restaurant Campestre Casa Campo. Did I Overlander talk about how narrow this street was?
I don't think so. Yeah, we might want to add that Thai Overlander.
What?
And there's a llama. Because Peru. The only bad thing we've heard is that there's a lot of mosquitoes. But we're only here for a night. As usual, the music is blasting. People are happy, and we are down here at Campo El Bolo in Peru, and they've already come out to greet us. There's some motorcycle travelers over there that are in tents already, a random llama, and a turtle. One of the motorcycle overlanders, a guy named Mario, just broke out this fruit called pacay, and he's giving it to Brittany and Caspian to try for the very first time.
This is the pacay fruit. It comes in what looks like a big bean pod, and it's like this. It has this white, and then you have to open it up and take out the pod, and then you eat the white part.
Oh, wait, hold it. Baby, you just ate it before I could show it to them. What's wrong with you?
I'm hungry.
Well, I'm gonna have to show you Mario over here because he's the one telling us about it. Pacay. This is what it looks like in here.
Una fruta muy tradicional de Perú, especialmente de la costa del Perú. Es un algodón blanco sumamente dulce y agradable. Se lo recomiendo, ¿eh?
There it is, the pacay fruit. Mario was just telling us that this is from Peru, and he highly recommends that everybody try it out. This is what it looks like in its raw form. Gracias, Mario. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We had been waiting a very long time to get to the southern part of Peru, and it was the section of the country we were most looking forward to. In our next video, we're going to take you into Arequipa, Peru, considered by many to be the gem of the entire country. There, we'll show you this magnificent city and then take you on an incredible drive to Cusco, the doorstep of Machu Picchu. If you haven't yet, this is your reminder to subscribe to our channel now and hit the bell icon so you get notified when our next video goes up. If you really enjoy our videos, we ask that you take a look at our Patreon. This is where, for the price of a cup of coffee, you can go behind the scenes with us and support us on the journey. It's where we get real and raw, and you can get regular, unfiltered live video, ask us questions, and really get to know us. The link for our Patreon is in the description of the video. We hope you enjoyed this section of the journey around the world, and we thank you for being part of it. Stay tuned for the outtakes, and until next time, we will see you in the next video.